Emmerdale broadcast a deeply personal and emotional episode, centering on Cain and Moira Dingle's relationship as he faced a difficult choice during his prostate cancer storyline. In the episode, Moira turned to Chas for guidance as she found it hard to communicate with her husband. Arriving at the Woolpack, Moira admitted to Chas that she had said the wrong thing to Cain, stressing how important intimacy was to her in a relationship. After everything she went through in prison, it made sense that she wanted to reconnect with him, but her comments deeply affected Cain as he worried about the possibility of losing his ability to have sex after surgery. Chas comforted Moira, assuring her she wasn't being selfish and urged her to speak openly with her brother. At the same time, Liam noticed Cain might need support and went to check on him, where Cain shared his fears about the upcoming procedure. He explained that he was more concerned about life after the surgery than the operation itself, fearing his marriage could fall apart. Determined to meet what he believed Moira wanted, Cain told Liam he planned to refuse the surgery to avoid the risk of impotence. Liam strongly disagreed, saying the decision made no sense, which led to Cain asking him to leave. Later at the Woolpack, Liam informed Moira that Cain was struggling emotionally and thinking about turning down the operation. Moira quickly returned home to confront him, and despite her reassurance that intimacy was only one aspect of their relationship, Cain suggested they should separate. Moira tried to stay hopeful, insisting they could adapt and overcome the situation, but Cain remained convinced she would eventually look elsewhere if he couldn't perform. Their argument soon intensified, as both brought up past betrayals. Cain accused her of being with Nate, while she fired back by reminding him of his involvement with Ruby. As Cain attempted to end the discussion, Moira warned that his pride might ultimately destroy their marriage. She told him that while they could handle the illness, his stubbornness and mindset were the real threat to their future, emphasizing that it could be what tears them apart. After emotions settled, the couple reconciled, with Cain apologizing and admitting he often pushes her away. He promised to handle things better going forward, though he still insisted he wouldn't go through with the surgery. Sitting beside his father's grave, he spoke with Eric Pollard, who was pushing a pram with baby Layla. During their conversation, Cain asked how it felt to live with Parkinson's disease. Pollard admitted that the uncertainty of the future was frightening, but reminded him how much the family values one another and that Cain would have an important role in caring for the child someday. Before leaving, Pollard told him he was fortunate, and his words had a strong impact on Cain, who became emotional and questioned the unexpected encounter. In the closing moments, Moira found him again, and was relieved when he revealed he had decided to proceed with the surgery, surprising her by saying the conversation had changed his mind. Cain then made a light remark about Pollard before sharing a kiss with Moira. Emmerdale actor Danny Miller has honestly shared the sense of guilt he is experiencing after signing up for a new project away from the soap. He recently confirmed that he will be part of the cast for The Celebrity Apprentice. The new series will feature 12 well-known personalities taking on a range of business challenges set by Lord Sugar, all competing to raise money for their chosen charities. Although special celebrity editions of The Apprentice have aired before, this will be the first time a full-length celebrity series is produced. The show will span 6 episodes and be filmed over a 3-week period, during which contestants will not be able to communicate with their families. Speaking on his podcast You Don't Know You're Born, Miller, who portrays Cain Dingle in Emmerdale, discussed the opportunity and admitted he had concerns about how demanding the experience might be. He explained that he was finally able to share the news, revealing he had agreed to take part in a reality show and would be appearing in the first full series of The Celebrity Apprentice. He made the announcement while chatting with co-hosts Brooke Vincent and Nigel Clucas. Miller pointed out that filming could last up to 3 weeks if contestants remain in the competition, describing it as a fully immersive format where participants must give up their phones. Vincent compared the experience to his time on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which he won in 2021, joking that it was similar but without the jungle creatures. While those who reach the final will stay for the entire duration, Miller clarified that even those who are eliminated early will still be involved in filming for at least a week, with no direct contact with loved ones, except for reassurance passed on by producers. He admitted that being away from his family for that long would be genuinely difficult and emotionally painful. Vincent reassured him by reminding him that he was taking part because it was part of his job and career. She added that in their line of work, having the ability to choose projects can sometimes increase feelings of guilt, especially when balancing personal desires with family responsibilities. She explained that while opportunities like this can be exciting and beneficial for both career growth and financial stability, they can still come with emotional challenges. Opening up further, Miller spoke about experiencing dad guilt, recalling a moment the previous week when he questioned whether he had made the right choice after learning just how immersive the show would be. He concluded by saying that the hardest part for him would be being completely out of contact with his family during that time. Emmerdale actress Lisa Riley has provided a health update after suffering an injury, admitting the experience has been extremely difficult. The star revealed details to fans after a serious fall that led to surgery and left her wearing a cast on her left arm. Earlier this year, the actor, known for playing Cain Dingle, slipped from a breakfast stool and landed awkwardly, damaging her left thumb. While appearing on Loose Women on Friday, 1st May, with fellow panellists Kay Adams, G.K. Barry, and Denise Welch, she spoke about how her recovery has been going. She explained that she underwent an operation and is now 5 weeks into her healing process, asking fans to keep her in their thoughts ahead of an upcoming appointment on May 6th, when the cast is expected to be removed. She also compared the injury to something as severe as a dog bite. The actress mentioned that she will need rehabilitation and physiotherapy as part of her recovery, describing the ordeal as extremely tough and noting that she still has very limited movement. She added that the accident happened just before she was due to travel to New York City. She recalled being especially anxious about the trip, as she was scheduled to fly only 4 days after the injury. Doctors allowed her to travel, fitting her with an adjustable cast, and she even joked about choosing a festive Easter color for it. The incident resulted in damage to the ulnar collateral ligament in her left thumb, which required surgery at Leeds General Infirmary. The soap star later expressed her gratitude to the NHS in an Instagram post, thanking them for the care and treatment she received. In Emmerdale, Jacob Gallagher finally decides to report Dr. Todd, but things take a shocking and unexpected turn. Jacob is determined to stand up to his intimidating superior, yet he quickly discovers that the situation is far more complicated than he anticipated. He has been dealing with a turbulent relationship with his boss and mentor, Dr. Todd, whose behavior has pushed him to his limits. After growing exhausted by her constant intimidation and manipulation, he initially submitted an informal complaint to HR. When Todd learned about the complaint, she attempted to persuade him to withdraw it, using her usual tactics, even claiming that firing her would rob the world of an exceptional doctor. However, Jacob stood firm and pointed out that her toxic leadership may have already driven many talented professionals away. Things took a darker turn when she overheard a secret about Charity's surrogate baby not being Jacob's child. Seizing the opportunity, she used this information to blackmail Charity, promising to keep the truth hidden only if Jacob dropped his complaint. Under pressure, Charity convinced Jacob to withdraw his report, insisting she was acting in his best interests and trying to safeguard his future, though her motives were far from honest. Despite previously vowing not to be controlled again, Jacob found himself giving in. After retracting the complaint, he chose to handle the situation on his own, leaving HR surprised given the detailed report he had previously submitted. They even hinted that others had raised concerns before, but he still went ahead with his decision. However, withdrawing the complaint only made matters worse, as Todd became even more brazen in her behavior. She openly ridiculed him around the village and even targeted Sarah, suggesting that Jacob cared more about his job than his personal life. Unable to tolerate it any longer, Jacob confronted her at the Woolpack, but things escalated when he followed her into the women's restroom. Vanessa walked in and caught him there, creating an awkward and damaging situation. Confused by his actions, Vanessa demanded an explanation, leading Jacob to finally reveal everything to Sarah, including the bullying, deception, and psychological manipulation he had endured. With a clearer understanding of what he had been going through, Sarah reassured him that they would face the situation together and recognized how much it had affected him emotionally. She encouraged him to regain his confidence and stand up for himself. At the same time, Sarah confronted Vanessa, a move that risked escalating the conflict even further. Motivated to take action again, Jacob decided to reinstate his complaint, only to face a devastating twist. Todd had already acted first, presenting a large amount of evidence against him. Although all the claims were completely fabricated, the damage was immediate, leaving Jacob stunned and overwhelmed. Sarah urged him not to give up, insisting that now was the moment to fight back, but it remained uncertain whether he would be able to prove the truth and win the battle. Emmerdale is broadcast on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.